Okay. Hope everyone are able to see my screen. Uh, Welcome all for the Kayak and More Naukuchiatal program. This is a program that we're doing for the young children of 9 to 11. This is one of our beginner programs that we do in North. And here, it's a 7-day program that we do starting on 17th of May till 23rd. Currently, we have got around like 40 odd children who have registered for the program. There's around 23 boys and 17 girls who have registered. And we have got kids, good bunch coming from Kolkata. There are kids from Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kochi, Indore, Bombay, bunch of places. So it's a good bunch of 40 children on the campus. And it's a beginner level program that we do for the children who are stepping into the outdoors for the first time, right? And here children would be doing activities like kayaking as an activity, and there is ropes course, there's backpacking, which is a trekking module. And the main theme of our programs is all about helping children to step out of their comfort zones where they do these outdoor based activities. And there are some camp based activities that they would be doing. And eventually, by doing all of this, they kind of challenge themselves, they push their limits a little bit, and they try to explore a few things. Basically, building life skills is what our main theme of our program is. So I'll be taking you through the camp location and the activities a little in detail. So this is one of our programs that we have been doing for the past 7, 8 years, if I'm not wrong. In the last couple of years, we took a break from the camp, but we are back again with the Naukuchiatal. And here it's a lakeside camp that we have got where children would be staying in a tent kind of an accommodation, and the tents have got an attached washrooms. So it's very thought through kind of a program for the younger children. And in terms of location, this is Naukuchiatal is like a pretty known place in Uttarakhand. This comes after Nainital. And there's also Bhimtal is another place that we commonly hear about, but this is in between Nainital and Bhimtal. And this is a program that would be starting from ex-Delhi. And we'll talk about travel also in detail just going forward. I want to give you a little bit of brief about what these activities are like. So the three activities, which are the main outdoor activities that children would be doing, one of them is called as kayaking, and the second one that is called as ropes course, and third one is called backpacking. So the three pictures that you see here, these are similar activities that children would be doing on the campus. And here, generally for any of a beginner level program, children would be doing these activities at a beginner level. So example, kayaking here, they would do it for a couple of days. And where the first day, it's all about introduction to kayaking. The image that you see here is actually from the Naukuchiatal campus, where this is the kind of kayaks that children would be using in. And there would be two children kayaks. Sometimes there are instructors in the same kayak, or sometimes there are in a separate kayak. But throughout the time, there are instructors with the children in the water, and they have to get into a kayak only after wearing the safety equipment, like the image that you see here. So they would be wearing a helmet, and there are life jackets that they would be wearing during the activity session. And there's no requirement for children to know about swimming as a requirement or anything. So as long as they're comfortable in the water, that should take care of it. And apart from that, for the first day, it's basically that understanding the coordination between both of them, because it's like a team building activity, right? So they have to coordinate with each other and then keep paddling into the lake for kayaking as an activity. And the second day, they cover a larger amount of distance, and they do probably like a kayak race or something like that, which is a pretty fun thing for the children on the second day. But we don't do both of them like consecutively. So one day we do kayaking, and the second day we do ropes course. And in ropes course also, they would do at a beginner level, which is called low ropes course. And in the low ropes course, the activity that you see here, this is one of the low ropes course element. So generally, low ropes course is something that are like an obstacle course that are built using ropes. And these are ideally like 3 feet or 5 feet above the ground. And the children would be participating in multiple sets of low ropes course activities. And the one of the main life skills that children would also be learning here is about teamwork, right? And on the second day, they would learn about high ropes course. These are generally slightly higher above the ground, which are probably like 20, 25 feet. So ziplining is one of a common thing that we keep hearing, right? So similar to that, there are commando net and bunch of other high ropes course activities that children would be participating. And the other activity is called backpacking. And here it's a very fun module where children will learn about different ways of trekking in the terrains. and they will go for a hike. They will get to know how to pitch a tent, and if time permits and the weather permits, then probably they'll do like a day out also. Meaning from the campus, they'll just step out, go for a little longer trek, and they will probably have like a small cookout session where they'll have to chop vegetables and probably make lunch in the wilderness, and then they come back by afternoon. So that kind of depends on the team once they reach on the campus. But or else generally they'll get to know about the backpacking, they get to know about how to navigate in the wilderness, how to pitch a tent, and how to trek in different terrains. These are some of the things that they would be learning by default. And apart from this, our general flow of a day, it kind of start at around 6:30 in the morning. And 6:30, well, we give a wake up call for the children, and they'll have time to freshen up and everything. At around 7, they'll have their uh, milk, hot chocolate, bonvita, tea, whatever they wish to have, along with some biscuits. And 8 o'clock would be like a breakfast. But in between, they will also be doing like a warm up session. We call it as chota hazri or elastic ramps. These are fun way of doing stretches and things. So this kind of helps children to get them ready for the day. And after that session is done, they would be assembling for a breakfast around 8 o'clock. And a majority of our meals, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, would be like a buffet system. And we have an options for veg, non-veg, and Jain food also. And I'm sure you would have selected the food preference when you're filling up an application form. And similar to that, the food is also very thought through, designed where these are proper nutritious meal, and children for every 2 3 hours they're well fed on the campus. We keep reminding them about hydration, and in between these major meals they'll have like a snack break during an activity time. Evening there is a snack break, and 7 o'clock there is a soup also. 8 o'clock is like a dinner, and they're well taken care on the campus when it comes to the meals. And obviously, if there is any sort of a food allergies or anything, I'm sure you would have mentioned this in the application form. So whatever are the conditions that we need to follow, we will make sure that the team on the campus and the kitchen team is also briefed, and then we take care of that. So that's like a general meal structure on a camp. And in between, like an outdoor activities are something that we start at 9 o'clock. From the campus, we step out for a kayaking as an activity, or ropes course, or hiking, based on the activities. And here there are 40 children so far, right? So we are hoping that it's going to run around 45, 48 children. That's the maximum capacity of the camp. And when we're doing the activities also, we don't have the 40 children doing the same activity at the same time. So we kind of divide them into like a smaller groups, like a 15 or a 20 children in groups. And then they go for each of these activity groups. And everybody does all the activities on the campus. So when the children come to the campus, ideally we give an option for the children that they can choose their tent mates. Like we, example, each tent has got an accommodation for 6 children. So we'll ask them to form a group of 6, and then they can choose who they want to stay with. Boys and girls is separate. And apart from that, when it comes to these activity groups, right? So here we are not going to give the children a choice. Well, the idea is also that we want them to mingle with each other. We want them to interact with new kids, make friends, and do activities together, right? Not to stick to that same group that they are coming from. So activity groups are randomly divided, and they would be divided, and they go to these smaller activity groups, and then they perform these activities. And then they come back to the campus better on lunchtime, which is around 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And 1 to 3 would be like a break time for children. That's when they'll have lunch, take bath, and relax for some time. And post lunch sessions, they would start doing like a camp-based activities. These are a mix of team building activities. It could be a creative activities, or it could be like a pure fun based, like a rifle shooting or an archeries, these kind of an activities. And that happens till 3 to 6 o'clock. And from 6, on an alternate day basis, we do something called as a reflection session. Basically, we kind of sit together in the small activity groups, and then we discuss how was the activities, and was there any challenges that they are facing, and how did they overcome these challenges. Basically making them understand that what their activities, like climbing a rock around 10 feet, is not something kids would do on a daily basis, right? But making them realize that they have got that potential to climb is also something that builds a lot of confidence in children, that helps them to be more independent and taking care of themselves for the next 6 days, right? So we do this like on an alternate day basis. And the 6 to 8 is like a very fun time for the children on the campus, where they are engaged in a mix of camp fun activities, and there are talent shows that we do. So they're quite engaged from morning till evening. They keep every day, they do different activities, different games, and different things. So it's not repeating, or it's just not monotonous. Every day there is like a quite an exciting day for the children on the campus. Okay. So when it comes to the safety, it's our 30th year of running summer camps for kids. And any program that we look at, any design that we look at, the first base would always be like us, safety of the children. Based on that, we take calls on an activity or during travel, a bunch of things, right? So as a part of that, our campuses are also like properly chosen. These are something that are adequate for a certain age group children, and we have a great ratio of 1:6 for instructor to children, meaning for every 6 children, there's an instructor on the campus. But it doesn't mean that we form a group of 6 and then there is an instructor in charge. Like what we discussed, there would be 15 or 20 children in a group, right? So if there are 20 children, there would be a minimum of 4 instructors there. And every group will have a female instructor in them. And at any point of time, it is always a combination of male and female instructors. And apart from that, we have a doctor also on the campus, 24/7 available. And there are campus chief, who is the head of a program, who has been working with children for a long time and make sure that things are happening fine for the children. Right? And apart from these, there is transport, which is what children would be using, and from the Delhi to reach the campus. Again, they would be traveling in an AC comfortable buses. And just to give a travel time and the departure time, we are expected to leave Delhi at around 11 o'clock. But I know that most of the children who have signed up for the program are all flying into the Delhi, right? So you must be traveling with your escorts, and we will share the escort details with you like 2 days, a day before the departure day. So on 16th evening is when you will receive the escort details, and they would meet you at your respective airports, either if it is Kolkata or Chennai, Kochi, wherever. They would meet the children at the airport, and from there they will take the handover of your child and then help them out through the check-in and everything. And by the time that they land in Delhi, generally our flight recommendation ones that are landing in Delhi are anywhere between 7 to 9 p.m. if I'm not wrong. So our team would be there to receive the children, and from there we will assemble them at a departure point. And I would request parents to book the meals for the children when they're on the flights. Okay, because by the time that they land in Delhi, it would be almost like a 9 o'clock or so, and there are very few kiosks, small stores that are there at the airport to have a meal again. I would ideally recommend to book a meal on the flight itself. And in the bus, anyways, we'll have snacks and everything that we are carrying, water and everything is there. So when they're leaving from Delhi, 10 o'clock is the reporting time for the parents who are from Delhi NCR, who are coming and dropping the children at the airport. And for all the children who are flying in, we will receive them based on their flight times. And when they're leaving from Delhi, it's almost around like 11 o'clock is when we leave. They will be traveling in a bigger AC comfortable buses, and they are traveling in these buses till a place called as Kathgudam, which is very close to the Naukuchiatal. And that's around probably like 20, 25 kilometers before the campus. Until there, they will be traveling in these bigger buses, and there's no winding roads. They are very comfortable highways. These are very comfortable buses. And since we're also doing a night journey, children will be able to sleep throughout the journey. Right? And the next day morning at around probably 6 o'clock is when we will be shifting the children from these bigger buses to a car kind of a vehicles at Kathgodam. And the last 15, 20 kilometers is something that they will do in these vehicles, but that 15 kilometers is going to take them a good 1 hour for them to reach. So we are expected to reach anywhere between 7 to 8 a.m. To the campus, and that's when they'll have breakfast also. Similarly, while return, they would start their journey. Onward, it is a night journey, and return, it is a day journey. Okay. So on 23rd, they would leave the campus post breakfast, probably at around 9 or so. And en route, they'll have lunch, and they will be doing the first 15, 20 kilometers in the Jeeps. And then after that, they get shifted into the bigger vehicles. And by at around 6 o'clock is when we are expected to reach back to the Delhi airport. And once the children have reached the Delhi airport, from there again the escorts and the team, we will be dropping them at their respective terminals, and they'll start their journey. And most of the flights are again at around the post 8:30, 9 o'clock. Right. So all of this travel and everything would be well taken care for the children. Equipment, any sort of an equipment that we use for children are like an international graded equipments, and they are properly logged, well maintained, and we make sure that these are all checked before it goes to the usage for the children, right? And if there is anything that we need to repair or something, we kind of discard it, not to repair it, and then we get a fresh set of it. And doctor, as you mentioned, we have a doctor on the campus. And apart from that, there is an emergency vehicle also on the campus. And this is the image of the camp that you're seeing. So these are all the tents that are there. And that's where children would be staying in. And if there is any sort of a medical emergency that we need to visit a medical facility or something, then the closest hospitals are in Kathgodam, which is that place where we have shifted the children, right? And again, it takes around 45 to 1 hour for them to reach accommodation. So these are the tents where they would be staying. So the tents have also got like an attached washrooms where it has got Western facilities there. And hot water, there's a geyser system and everything. Children doesn't have to come out of the tents to in the night time to use the washroom or anything. And generally there are separated for boys and girls, it'll be separate. And there are male and female instructor tents that are close to the same gender children tents also. If they need anything, they would be just calling out an instructor for help. Meals, again, we discussed. Departures are done. Okay, so these are camps that we are doing for the children in outdoors, right? So we wanted to set some expectations, especially this bunch of children. It's the first time stepping into the outdoors, right? So we also wanted to let them know what the program is about, set a right expectation. This is not like a holiday kind of a thing, but at the same time, you have a lot of fun, you learn a lot, and then you do a lot of new things on the campus, right? And so this is one of the things that we talk about the children about the accommodation. These are more like a Spartan kind of an accommodations. They're not really like a luxurious one, but this is a camp that we are looking for younger children, slightly more luxurious compared to the rest of the camps that we have got. But idea is that it's not something that they've got a cot or a mattress, anything like that, right? So in the tents, they would have like a foldable mattress, and that's what they use as a base. And on top of that, children would be using a sleeping bag as a for them to use for the night. And that's how they would be staying on the campus for the rest of the 6 days. And communication protocol, this is very important. As you all know, these are no gadget programs. Children will not be having any sort of a gadget with them, no mobile phones, no music players, no smartwatches, nothing with them. Where the idea is that we want them to break out all of this digital world, be there present, make friends, and do something new. And also just for them also to realize that they can do things without the parents' help, right? So that kind of boosts a lot of confidence in them. So that's the whole idea of not having gadgets there. And we have like a communication policy and updates and everything that we share with the parents. So all of you would have received a message about this orientation from one of my colleagues' number. Name is Muskan. She is the Spock for the program. So in case in the future, if you need any information, you can connect with her directly, or you can connect with any one of us who you're already in touch with. And so every day we would be sending out these text updates in that WhatsApp channel. Okay. And so this is a channel where it's mostly like a one-way communication where we send out these text updates of the entire group, not of an individual child, like what activities they have done and what's the general atmosphere on the campus and what they have for meals. So once you go through it, you'll get to know pretty much everything that is happening on the camp. And apart from that, we will also be uploading 15 to 20 pictures on a daily basis. But these pictures are mostly, again, like a group pictures. We will try to cover as much as possible. For some reason, what we have also realized is that just when you're taking the group picture, children, they'll remember they'll have to go fill up a water bottle or they want to go use a washroom. So a lot of things keep happening when we are with the children, right? So there might be a day that you might be not able to see your child in the group picture or generally in a pictures because they're doing fine. If there is anything wrong, we would have already given you a call. Right. But sometimes there might be a day when we're just trying to cover so many children. There might be a day that you may not see your child picture. I would say definitely not to worry. The next day I'm sure we'll be able to cover them. And if you see your child being in the same t-shirt for the second day, I'd say not to worry. They're in the wilderness. They're doing activities. They're on the campus. They will learn how to survive. They'll manage themselves, right? If you see them for the third day, sure, go ahead and let us know. But at least for the first couple of days, it's okay, fine. They're not uh, going off anywhere. They're not doing anything bad. So that's all right. And if there is any sort of emergencies on the campus, we will definitely give you a call. Emergency meaning again for like a tiny scratches, bruises, or probably like a tummy ache or a headache. The mild ones, we may not give you a call. But in case if you are seeing that children are feeling unwell for a second day, or if we have to give them an antibiotic, or if you have to take them to a medical facility or anything, we will definitely give you a call. We'll keep you informed. And based on your inputs, we'll take the next steps. But apart from that, if there is any emergency from your end, you can connect to one of us. You can connect with Muskan also directly. We are all available on the call. We will connect with the campus and revert back to you with information. Gadgets, we discussed. Fitness. Okay. So we also understand that these days children are quite into some sort of a physical fitness, which is great. And in case if they are busy in the last 15 days, 20 days, they haven't done much about it, we still have another good 12, 13 days to go to the program. So ideally, let them play a sport that they like, if or they want to go for a cycling, walking, jogging, whatever they're into. At least keep them active for the 40 minutes to 1 hour on a daily basis so that the muscles start building up, and then they would be able to get some stamina. They would be able to enjoy these activities rather than feeling it difficult, right? That's the whole point of it. But again, they're doing it for the first time. Obviously, they are being challenged a little bit, but they're able to push their boundaries and then they learn a lot. Okay. So this is around bullying and indiscipline. So we are absolutely sure on that in case if there is anybody who is trying to pick up a fight or misbehave with another children or bullying each other, right? So these are things that we do not encourage on the campus, and we have like strict actions against it. So in case if we see anybody that somebody is trying to bully other, we will have a conversation, and then based on that, we'll take necessary steps also. There are times that we have sent the similar age group children back home at their expenses also, right? So we don't want anybody there to have a uncomfortable stay. We want them to have a good time, make friends, spend time together, enjoy, right? Create good memories, not bad ones, right? So if there is anybody that you see that somebody else is trying to pick up a fight with you or who's trying to be rude with you, just go up and speak to an instructor. So generally, most of the times, children are in front of the instructors either during a playtime, activity time, most of the time, right? So inside a tent, or if there are times that we are unaware of, all we need to know is that if the child can just come up and speak to one of us, we will make sure that we'll address their concern. Similarly, for substance abuse, no consumption of cigarettes, alcohol, none of them are allowed on the campus. Again, the same thing. We'll blacklist the children who are coming to these two categories. We will never be able to take them on the campus. So we're pretty strict about that. Okay, no junk food. This is very important for the kids and also for the parents. Please do not send any snacks with them. No theplas, kakras, nothing. Uh, we have like a good amount of menu set for the children. We want them to have a good meal, proper nutritious meal, not to have like a one energy bar and then skip a meal, right? Because they're not used to doing these activities. And if they are carrying anything, they can probably have it during the travel. Once they reach the campus, we will ask them to hand over it to us. And sometimes we see the kids are pretty smart where they want to hide these things and then have it in their tent and all of it. But wilderness, right? So once you open these packets, these are like a delicious meal for the things that are there in the wilderness. So they're like, who has bought some new snacks for us? So they would all come into the tents. They will first it would be the ants, and then for ants there would be some other bigger insects, and then for bigger insect there are something else that is coming. So there's a proper wilderness kind of an environment inside the tents, right? So there would be spiders and things like that. So we don't want them to go through that all of that hassle. So please, I would recommend not to send anything. If there is anything that they're sending, they can just deposit with us. We will return it to them on the last day. And pocket money, they don't really have to buy anything from the time of the departure till arrival. We will take care of all the requirements for the children. And probably for the children who are coming in the flights, I would recommend, as I said, please book a meal for them. We don't want them to wander off in an airport and then trying to pick up a meal and then hassle and all of it, right? So as much as possible, try to reduce all of that. So you can send them some sort of an emergency cash with them, like for them in case if they're getting hungry, if they want to get something at the airport, but ideally avoidable. But if they still want to get something, just send some emergency cash somewhere around 2-3 thousand for them. And apart from that, on the last day of the camp, we also have like a merch store that we open where if they want to buy a souvenir like a t-shirt or a keychain, something like that, right? So nothing more than 2-3 thousand is required for them anyways. So that will kind of take care of all the requirements for them. So this is about the program, and here is a kit list for the program. So there are some things that you would see that we have recommended children to carry a raincoats, warm layers, fleece jackets in the month of May, typical summer in the north also, right? But our kit lists are designed in such a way that whatever are the weather conditions, they are having a right kind of a gear where they will have a comfortable stay, and then they are having up and ready for an activity, right? So there are sometimes in the mountains we cannot really predict the weather. So example, there are kids who have come back from one of our Uttarakhand camp. So it wasn't rainy season, not a pre-monsoons, nothing, but it still rains there, right? So they need to have like a proper warm layers. They need to have a raincoats, things like these. Right? Mornings are generally warm in Naukuchiatal, and evenings are quite pleasant because there's a lake close by. There's a continuous amount of breeze that comes in, so it keeps the campus cool and calm. And but in the night times, again, we would ideally want them to wear like a warm layers because there might be a mosquitoes here and there. So just avoid all of that, right? So the things that you see here, basically, they are like a basic apparel, three t-shirts, quick dry in the dark colors. So quick dry is something that we recommend for kayaking activities or generally for another activities also because they sweat a lot and then they dry also pretty quick. And for girls, we recommend getting a dark color clothes and 4 pairs of shorts, again, quick dry ones because they would be getting into the water multiple times in a day, right? So when they're doing the kayaking as an activity. So it's important that they need to carry extra shorts and preferably quick dry. And we have mentioned 2 track pants, but if you want, you can just get on another couple of them also. And whenever children are doing the activities, they would pretty much be in full track pants and not in the shorts. So when they're on the campus, they can wear the shorts, no problem with that at all. 5 pairs of socks and one towel, quick dry, and one cap. So also, since these are younger children, right? So when you're packing for the parents, I would recommend if the children can pack there on their own, brilliant. If they're unable to, when you're helping out them for packing it, please make sure that the child is also next to you. Tell them that this is where your cap is going, this is where your toiletries are, this is where your sunscreen is, things like that. Or else mostly they will just forget. They don't even open half the zips that are there in the rucksack. They might even just forget it. So a bunch of things happens on a camp. So just make sure that children are well aware of where these things are going on. Undergarments, I would recommend at least one for every day and add another 2, 3 also. Younger children is one. And the second is also that they're doing kayaking activity. So they get into the activity like water a bunch of times, right? So please make sure that you're sending extra pairs with them. 2 pairs of night clothes, if they're comfortable, please to carry it. So one fleece jacket, the image that you see here, that's called as fleece jacket. Or if not that, you can send a hoodie with them, especially for the kids who are taking flights. And it's also a night journey in the bus, AC bus. Please to carry one sweatshirt or a hoodie, whatever you're comfortable with, and put that in the bag that you're carrying with you inside the bus. I will come to that also in a minute. One poncho or a raincoat, typical raincoat, you can just carry a normal, very light one, nothing hardcore, anything like that. Footwear, this is important. One is that you need to wear a shoe when you're on the travel also. Like example, kids who are coming onto the flights, please make sure that you're wearing the shoes and not on the floaters because you will be moving at multiple places and we don't want you to get injured by a trolley or you're just going and banging somewhere, right? So none of this shouldn't be happening, right? So you can avoid all of that. Wear shoes. And this is something that you wear for an activity time. And for the rest of the time, the image that you see here, this is called as hiking sandals these days. These are again mostly available in most of the sports stores or Decathlon, any of the outdoor stores also. So the idea for this is that we want children to have like a feet cover and also they have like a proper support. Whereas the slides, they don't have this back strap, right? So it's pretty much open for them. And this would result in a like they will slip out of it, they're just running around in the campus, they will fall and have an injury. So all of these things can be easily avoided. Here comes the toiletries and whatever you're comfortable with, soap, shower gels, you can just carry it, and dental and sunscreen is a must for a program like this. uh, Lip balms and cold creams, yes, you can carry it, and please don't carry a perfume with you. Boys sometimes they don't take a bath, they're interested in perfumes, but you can avoid it because they have like multiple different kind of fragrances, right? So when you're going out for a trek, uh, there are bees and things like that that might follow you. So just avoid these perfumes. just take a bath every day. And a torch or a headlamp, whatever your choice is. And whenever you're carrying this torch or a headlamp, please make sure that you are putting this in your big backpack where you give it at the airport, which is a check-in one, that one that we give it at the counter. Okay. Sorry, absolutely not. That's the other way around. So the big backpack shouldn't have this torch or a headlamp. That should go along with your smaller backpack that you carry in your cabin, the one that you take along with you in the flights. Okay, if you put this in a big backpack, they will not process it. You will not receive your rucksack. So that's an important one. Sorry for confusing it. Those batteries shouldn't go in the bigger backpack. It has to be in the smaller one. A plastic bag, which is like a laundry bag for them to get their wet clothes or used clothes, and water bottle 750 ml bare minimum. Please do not carry like a very small one because you would be going out for activities and you'll get quite thirsty also. Okay, this is a second important thing, which is called a sleeping bag. And this is something that we recommend children to carry for the campus. In case if they're unable to get it, it's absolutely fine. We will provide it to them on the campus. But the ones that we provide for the children, they are not like a brand new ones. Okay, they will these are being used by the children in the previous programs, but they're in a good condition. They're well maintained and sanitized and sun dried after every program also. In case if you want to use the campus one just for an extra hygiene layer, you can get something called a sleeping bag liner. This is like a very small, compact one where you once you open it becomes like a big liner. So that will be like a base layer for you. And on top of that, you use a sleeping bag. All of this again, instructors will show you when you're on the campus. And inflatable pillow is just an optional thing. If you're used to having a pillow, you can't get a sleep in the night, carry one inflatable one. There are no blower machines or anything. You just have to blow into it. That's a pretty simple mechanism. Medicines, as I said, we have got the doctor on the campus. And in case if there are children who are taking any daily medications, they can carry those medications. And apart from that, they don't have to carry any other precautionary medications. We are all well equipped with it. And during travel also, we'll have a motion sickness medication. All of that is pretty much there with us all the time. And spectacles, in case if you're carrying, if you have spectacles and you have power, then please do get an extra pair of it. And also something called as glass retainers. These are like a strap that connects both the ends of the your glasses, and that will keep you intact. Where in case during a kayaking activity, you're just looking somewhere and then it just falls off, it goes into the water, right? So they're called as retainers, so which is easily available in Amazon or Decathlon, bunch of places, right? So just I would recommend you to get that one particular. So the image that you see here, this is called as rucksack. Okay, so this is what children would be using to put all the things that we're mentioning here into that rucksack. And this is they would be keeping inside the tent. They don't move this on a daily basis. This is just there in the tent. And along with this, they'll have to carry like a one small knapsack, like a 10-liter or a 20-liter bag, where this is what they will put their water bottle or a snack cap or something like that in it, right? For the kids who are taking the flights, that's the bag that they can use to put their tickets and their Aadhaar cards or mobile if they're carrying one, whatever they require, right? So that is important that you send them two bags. Cash, we have already discussed. No gadgets. So pretty much on the campus every day there are instructors who takes pictures, but they might, in case if there are children who are wanting to document their journey, they can carry a camera, but do not send any fancy cameras with them because these are outdoors. There might be chances of them getting damaged and all of it. If they don't carry, absolutely fine. We want them not to carry also because they can concentrate and do the activity rather than trying to figure out the camera and taking pictures and getting distracted, right? So instructors are there to take a bunch of pictures. And please do not send anything that is expensive with the children. No jewelry to the campus. Again, outdoors, in case if they misplace it, it's next to impossible to find out, right? And okay, so this is an important one again, where for the kids who are flying in, we want all of you to carry a pouch. Okay. In the pouch, you need to, if you're carrying a mobile phone, you will have to carry a charger and a power bank both. And apart from that, your hard copy of the return ticket, right? So please, parents, do not depend only on the e-copies. Please make sure that you're taking a printout of the ticket, of the return ticket, fold it, keep it in that pouch. Okay. And children have to carry their original government ID cards. Okay. Don't send the photocopy of it because some airports act differently. The even kind of depends on the person who's at the airport also, right? So some people would accept the original ID, some people would accept a photocopy. So please make sure that you're just sending the original ID with the children, where they can keep that ID in that pouch again, and the pouch has to be labeled with the child name. And once they have reached the Delhi, we will ask the children to hand over those pouches to us, and on the return, we will give it back to them when they're back from the campus in Delhi. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much. So I'm done talking. In case if you have any questions, we can just go through it. I'm just going to look at the chat section first, and I'll answer. And then after that, once I'm done with this, you can just raise your hand and then we can take questions. Will there be washroom breaks during the transit? Yes. So once we leave from Delhi, at the airport itself, we will ask the children to use the washroom once before we get into the bus, and we'll have another washroom break during the journey. Yes, again, snacks will be provided in the buses, and there are at the campus, again, there's everything that is available for the children. Are the children responsible for the transfer of their luggage from the bus to the cars and Kathgodam? Absolutely not. There would be a team who would be doing all of that for children. We kind of first move the luggage into the different vehicles, and then after that we'll get the children seated into the vehicles and all of it. So when they leave the luggage at the Delhi airport at the bus, the next time they're going to pick up a luggage is on the campus. Okay, so when we are during the program time, whenever we take the pictures, there might be times that the instructors are unable to send it due to the network issues. So if there is anything, we will collect all of those pictures, put it in a Google Drive, and share it in the channel after that. How many hours would you drive starting at 11? So 11 is when we start, and 5 o'clock, 6 is when children would be reaching Kathgodam, and another couple of hours. So if you want to look at like overall journey, probably 8 hours of journey is what they would do. Children might have motion sickness. How is it on the road? It's not a hilly roads. As I said, it's a pure plain highways, and we have motion sickness medication also with us. Delhi, they would be reaching around like 6 o'clock is when we are expected to reach. And again, 99% we are on time. And in case if there is any delays or something, please stick to that channel. We'll keep posting information there. Uh, for the kids who are reporting at the departure point who are from Delhi NCR, you will have to report around 10 o'clock in the night, and by at around 11 is when we are expected to leave. There won't be any blankets on the bus. So the small bag that I was talking about, so put a hoodie or a sweatshirt, whatever children uses, in that smaller backpack, which they can take it inside the bus, and they can use like a warm layer when they're traveling. Uh, Children who are just reporting at the Delhi NCR, they don't have to carry their phones at all. Again, for the children who are coming in along with the escorts, also, they don't really have to. But in case if it keeps you at peace, sure, no worries. Again, we'll take them at the departure point. From the departure point till the time that the children are back, there won't be any sort of a devices with them. For the kids again who are from Delhi NCR, they don't have to carry an Aadhaar card or anything. It's only for the kids who are taking flights. So there are questions around the incidents in current geopolitical situations also, right? So far, if you see in North, things are just going as usual, right? So there's no roadblocks, there are no restrictions, there is no uh, any sort of things that we have to really worry about. Things we have just come back from the campus. Again, there is a batch that is there in Himachal where they're doing a program, and there are about 90 children who have come back from one of our camps from Uttarakhand. So everything is going as usual. In case if there is anything that we have to look at, like it's a safety concern, then we will keep you well informed. And then if it's something that we have to take a call, then we'll cancel a program also. But given under the current circumstances, there's no such kind of improvements that we are seeing. And if there is something that comes up, we'll keep you informed. I'm done with the questions on the chat. In case if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and then ask for it. Hi, Rayansh, do you have any question?
No, nothing. Sorry. I
Okay,
think it was.
cool. No worries.
Yes, hi. I wanted to know if we are allowed to talk to the children or are they allowed to call us if requested?
Not during the program time. So there won't be a direct communication between the parent and the children generally for the 6 days or 7 days of duration. But if there is anything that something that is to worry about from a campsite, we will definitely give you a call. And I'm sure we have been managing the programs for kids for like last 29, 30 years. We can handle it. And if there is anything that we need to call, we will definitely keep you informed.
Okay.
Is like for the children going by bus, is the like electronics strictly prohibited or is it optional?
It's not an optional, but it's strictly prohibited. We don't want you to live in your devices. We want you to just have a chat with your buddy who's sitting next to you, make a friend, right? So even during travel, for us, the program kind of starts when you're at the departure, not when you're on the campus.
Okay.
Cool. The night journey, yes, we have been also it's the same route that we take for one of our oldest camps called as Keet, and we have been having this program camp from past 29, 30 years. That's where we started, and this is a route that we keep taking every year, right? And the vendors who work with us, and we keep instructing them, and there are a lot of checks that we do for the vehicles. The drivers are well briefed. We'll maintain like a regular speeds, nothing fast or anything. There are speed limits that we inform them. They're well taken care during the travel also.
So, are the kids allowed to get any board games or Uno, anything like that?
If they want to, they can carry Uno, ma'am. But again, all of this is already there on the campus. There are board games, there are Unos and
Okay,
cards. All of them are there.
sure. Thank you.
Sure.
Can I just bring a frisbee or a football or something?
Why do you want to carry it? I already have all of these on the campus.
Oh, okay.
Currently, we have got around like 40 children, and there are three, four other children still in the conversation. So we might end up at 45, 48. If no more questions, thank you all for joining the orientation and listening to half an hour of all of this. And going forward, we're going to send this recording also in the channel, and we'll be sharing the departure message 2 days before the departure day, which is on 15th. And the escort details we'll be sharing with you on 16th, which is a day in before the departure. And a genuine request to all the parents, if you get an escort details, please do not add them into any of your WhatsApp groups, because for them to take care of the kids is one part and making sure that they are all safe and not to respond to your messages, calls, or anything. So we will manage all the communication. Muskan is there to help you out. If you need anything, please connect with her. And thank you all for joining.